Welcome to Cyborg 86. Today we're going to mount this gorgeous 80s Ramcharger body on the Jiabaile 3601. This is going to be our donor rig. Mostly stock, just got a skid plate in there I'm testing. Then we're going to take it for a spin in the rocks and give it some serious hard knocks to see how it holds up. The body is really easy to take off this thing. There are two little clips behind the front wheel, and you just need a small screwdriver or tweezers to pry those little clips loose. Now, when you're doing this, make sure you're not holding too tight onto the axle. In fact, it's much better to hold onto the frame. That way you're not going to break anything. And just like that, it's out. It'd really be great to grab it by the connector, but I just don't find any room. So I carefully and gently use the wiring and as much as I can grab at the connector and pull it loose that way with a little wiggling. To get the circuit board out, the spare tire does not need to come off, but there are 4 screws, 2 in back, 2 in front, that do need to come out, and you'll want to save those because we'll use them for the body mount. Once those 4 screws are out, you can get the rear bumper off, but it does take some prying as it clips in. I'm sorry I don't have a better video than this. I seem to have lost it. Stuff happens. So now we've set aside the body. We have the chassis, the circuit board, the body mounts, and this really cool looking body. This is designed by Mini Motor Mayhem here on YouTube, and this guy's got some talent. I don't see any videos from him yet, but maybe if we subscribe, and that's really nice, he'll make some videos for us and show off his talent. At this point, I plugged the electronics back in. There's a 3-point connector for the servo, and then there's a 2-point connector to run the motor. And to be totally transparent, it's not as easy as it looks here. I cut out a lot of fiddling and trying and attempts, so be prepared with a little bit of patience. The battery's inside this little case here, and we didn't have to touch it at all to do this. Just leave it plugged in and connected to the circuit board. Now it's time for the rear body mount. These are designed to use 2 of the screws that we took out of the original body, and we'll go ahead and do that with a Phillips screwdriver. Just tighten them gently. These are pointy end screws, and they'll screw in nicely and hold really well without any extra tightening. You can even leave them a little loose if you want. They'll hold. Next up is the front body mount. No screws for this. It's designed to loosely clamp over the front of the circuit board, and then it'll also clamp to the frame. Just kind of pry it open a little bit, clamp it in there, it should go right in, and now we're ready to attach it. So I like to start with the back first, and once again, while you're putting pressure on the vehicle itself, use the frame, not the axles, so you don't damage anything. Just snaps in with a little bit of force, and you can adjust it if needed, just a little bit. It's designed to fit tightly between the angle where the frame goes down on the back and the screws. And then on the front, just snap those in, and you can adjust the front one forward or back to fit a different size body if you'd like. And now all of a sudden it's holding pretty solid. At this point, it's time to install the body. What we're going to do is actually glue the mounts to the body, but don't worry, the body can be removed later if you'd like. But I like to make sure everything's lined up and looking good. And then we'll put some glue on the top of the body mounts. So I put some glue on the body mounts, and then I fit it to the body. And now you can see there's glue inside the body. And I wanted to put a little extra glue in there. So I went ahead and opened up the tube again, applied a little more glue. And the reason I did it this way is I don't want to goop up the body mount so much that it'll drip down onto the electronics. It's good to make sure the steering is straightforward at this point. And I flipped over the chassis and laid it in there, make sure everything's aligned forward to back and side to side. And if you need to, I needed to, I just wanted to slide that body mount a little bit. The front one that slides, I wanted to slide that just a bit, so I adjusted it with the screwdriver. Now I'm going to let her sit. Since I'm testing here, these body mounts, I thought I'd quick check and see if I can take it back off the body. Really want to be able to do that. Want to be able to access the electronics if I need to, though I don't anticipate doing it much. And it works just the same way. Make sure you grab the chassis, but now you have twice as many clips to pry open, and it'll come off with a little bit of patience. Also, I wanted to confirm that I could still pull the circuit board out of there in case I wanted to mount it in another body. And pull them 2 screws out. Remember, the mounts are now glued in, so the process is a little different. Pull the 2 screws out, and now the back's loose. The front didn't pop right out immediately, and I sure didn't want to pry on the circuit board, so I opted to just shave a little bit from the clamps there that are holding it in. Nothing to it. Took just a minute. I thought about changing the design a little bit, but I'd really like to err on the side of making sure it stays in there and doesn't fall out, because pulling it out of there shouldn't happen too often, and it may even be when you're just plain done with the body, want to build another one. So that's how I'm going with it. I'm going to leave the design just like this. Then I put it back together and did a quick bench test, or in this case, shelf test. Then it's outside to the rocks. Now, I purposely drove it a little rough. Wanted to make sure these body mounts will hold up. I have 100% confidence in the body. It's solid. But the body mounts I had just designed and want to make sure they hold up. And my test looked pretty good. This test here was the most severe, hitting 2 rocks on the way down. Give it a nice bloody nose and see how it does. Once again, nothing broken, nothing hanging off. It's mounted firmly. So, test is passed. I believe Benny Motor Mayhem is going to make the files available for this. And he's also mentioned that he may sell some on eBay, so if you don't have a printer, you're welcome to get one of those. I'll try to post it when I see it available. Also, he's worked so hard to develop this, so I'm glad to give him my body mounts. I plan on making the body mounts available for free, and I'd like to see if I can add some variables to the files, so when you go to print them, you just set the height of the body in the front and in the rear, and it'll adjust the size of the body mount, and you just print them out. Wish me luck on that, but I think I can do it. I've got my eye on a couple of bodies that I'd like to convert after this one's finished up, and when I get that done, I'll make those available too. My files are always free. This is a hobby for me and just tons of fun, and I'd like to share it with you. I did go ahead and take some specs here. This is the original, weighs in 109 grams, almost 110, and this is with the new body on it. Gained just about 3, maybe 4 grams, so not much for a lot of great looks. And if you wanted to thin it down a little bit, you could probably do that in a slicer, maybe less infill and less wall loops in there. Lighten it up a little bit. Stay tuned to my channel. As this progresses and gets released, I'll be sure to let you know right here. And happy crawling!